Hello, my name is Yutaka Kubo. Welcome back to EAP1. This is our week 6. Due to the concerns raised by an increase in the number of the COVID-19 positive cases, both on campus and in Ishikawa Prefecture, I've decided to teach this week online. I'm going to send you Zoom link for Monday, May 17th, 2021. You can join the Zoom session if you have any questions about the content of this video lecture or anything else related to the course. About the assignment on rewriting a paragraph, thank you so much for adjusting to changes in the method of submission. If you have not, please turn in your assignment on web class now or after you finish listening to this video lecture. Today, we are going to learn the significance of providing reasons and examples that support a topic sentence in each paragraph using pages 140 and from pages 142 to 149. As I mentioned before, you have already shown your understanding of its importance in a midterm assignment. But as we prepare for final assignment coming up in a few weeks, I believe today's topic will be helpful to you since the final assignment will require that you provide reasons and examples in detail. First of all, please take a look at this paragraph on this slide. Pause the video and pay attention to whether this paragraph provides enough reasons and examples to the reader who has chosen to read this paragraph because of its title, Costa Rica, a great place to study wildlife. As we have learned previously, each paragraph has a topic sentence at the beginning, and it is followed by supporting sentences, and it ends with a concluding sentence. This paragraph is no exception. The first sentence is a topic sentence, the next 4 sentences are supporting sentences, and the last is a concluding sentence. Except that the first sentence needs to be indented at the beginning of the paragraph, this paragraph may seem to be good enough. However, it would become a much better paragraph if we had more examples to describe each reason and had transition signal to inform the reader of where examples start specifically. Now, let's look at the paragraph on page 140 of the textbook. I've copied the same paragraph onto this slide that you are seeing right now. Read the questions about this model on page 141 before reading the paragraph on page 140. Pause the video here and restart after you've answered questions about this model. As you have read, there are 6 questions about this paragraph model. The first one is, what is the controlling idea? In this paragraph, the topic is Costa Rica, as the main section of the title of this paragraph also indicates. And the controlling idea is the rest of the sentence, proposing that Costa Rica is the best place to spend a semester doing wildlife research for 2 reasons. The second question is, what are the writer's exact reasons? In order to distinguish them, we already know that there are 2 reasons. So what we need to do next is to identify transition signals that tell us those 2 reasons. Look at the paragraph. The sentences that begin with 2 different transition signals, first of all and second, are the ones that show us the author's exact reasons. This also answers the third question. What transition signal do they use to introduce each question? The fourth question is, how many examples does the writer use to support each reason? What words signal each example? Look at the sentences after each reason. The writer uses transition signals such as for example and for instance. Notice here that the writer does not repeat the same signal. In addition, the writer also uses a word another, giving one more example out of many other examples. Here, I want you to recognize the structure in which the writer is providing two examples for each reason. English writing demands that the writer be coherent, although I always emphasize that English writing tends to avoid repetitions of words. It is crucial that you repeat the same structure. That is, if you provide 3 examples to one reason, then you must also give 3 examples to another reason. In this listing order paragraph, the writer starts the concluding sentence with a concluding signal. Indeed, and restate the recommendation that Costa Rica is a wonderful place to study if you love wildlife. So this is how you break down a paragraph. This is how I break down if I must evaluate your paragraph. Whether there is a clearly stated topic sentence, whether supporting sentences provide reasons and examples in the same structure throughout the paragraph, and whether the concluding sentence, which starts with a concluding signal, restates the topic or the reasons. Practice 2 on pages 141 to 142 has 8 questions to solve. You need to choose a word from the light green box above the questions and fill in the blanks with appropriate words. Pause the video and fill in the blanks. Once you have finished answering, restart the video. From here, we are going to learn how to organize a paragraph with reasons and examples. You will also learn how to write effective topic and concluding sentences and how to use transition signals for reasons. Please take a look at the section named Reasons and Examples on page 142. When you write a topic sentence such as Costa Rica is a great place to spend a semester doing wildlife research, you need to support the topic with reasons to help convince the readers. Each reason then needs to have specific examples. The author of this writing model on page 140 provides 2 reasons to elaborate why Costa Rica is a great place to spend a semester studying wildlife. 2 reasons are listed on page 142. First, it has very diverse geography, so it has many different habitats. Second, it has an astounding number of wildlife species. As we saw earlier, the author supports each reason with 2 examples. They are specific facts about specific places. To support his first reason, the author talks about the number and kinds of habitats in Tortuguero and Corcovado. To support the second reason, the author mentions specific facts about the range and number of various wildlife species near Erinal volcano and Corcovado. The practice 3 on page 143 is devoid of examples and provided by the paragraph model on page 140. Try to fill in the blanks by locating necessary words and phrases from the model. Pause the video and restart once you have finished answering them. So here are the answers. In this paragraph, the author states 2 reasons, And for each reason, the author provides 2 examples. Notice how the author elaborates each example for the first reason by indicating 3 smaller details. And for the second reason, supported by 2 examples, the author gives 2 smaller details. This structure shows the rhythm through the paragraph. The first reason, supported by 2 examples, each of which is elaborated by 3 smaller details. And for the second reason, supported by 2 examples, each of which is elaborated by 2 smaller details. Please remember, the rhythm is important. Okay, now turn to page 144 and fill in the blanks by choosing sentences from A to H. Pause the video and restart once you have finished answering them. So the title of the paragraph is Living in a Beach Community. The practice gives you topic and concluding sentences. The task here is to locate the reasons for living in a beach community and identify the examples to support each. In order to locate the reasons, read the concluding sentence, which says, to sum up, beach communities offer great recreation at low prices. The keywords here are 1. Recreation and 2. Low prices. These 2 keywords indicate the reasons for living in a beach community. In this case, one of the reasons is a beach community offers recreation for residents of all ages. For this reason, identify the examples that include age-informing words. The other reason is it costs very little money to enjoy time at the beach. For this reason, identify the examples that include words that suggest cost. Please make sure you fill in the blanks for each reason. The order of examples does not matter. Now, please turn to pages 146 and 147. Here, you learn how transition signals that introduce reasons function in paragraphs. As we have done with the midterm assignment, you must be already familiar with the uses of transition signals. There are 2 patterns. The pattern 1 uses a listing order transition signal at the start of each reasons, such as first, first of all, second, third, finally, lastly, and so on. I want you to pay particular attention to pattern 2, which uses the transition word in the subject. As you can see in the examples on page 147, there are 2 ways to complete a sentence that uses this pattern. 1 with a noun phrase and 2 with a noun clause. For a noun phrase, you use the transition signal as the subject of the sentence, and it is followed by a noun as you see on page 147. For a noun clause, the transition signal is followed by a clause, ダット節. Make sure that the clause needs a subject and a verb. Employing pattern 1 and pattern 2 of the transition signals, please solve practice 6 on page 147 following the examples provided for reason 1. It's fairly easy. Please pause the video now and solve the questions. After solving them, please move on to page 148. Here, you're going to learn the uses of transition signals that introduce examples. As the textbook states, there are 3 transition signals that you can use to introduce examples. For example, for instance, and such as. To use them, there are 2 patterns. Pattern 1 places either for instance or for example at the beginning of the sentence. Please take note that both for instance and for example are followed by a comma and then followed by a full sentence with a subject and a verb. Pattern 2 places either such as, for example, or for instance at the end of the sentence followed by nouns. The textbook says that you must put a comma in front of such as, but I believe it's a case by case. You do not always need a comma before such as, but for the other EAP courses, EAP 2, EAP 3, EAP 4, you follow this rule that you put the comma before such as just to be safe. You must put a comma before and after for instance and for example, as you can see both on the slide and in the textbook. Now, please turn to page 149 and solve practice 7. Pause the video and restart when you finish solving. For week 7, here is the assignment. There are 2 things I want you to do. First, I want you to review pages from 142 to 149 in the textbook. Also, I recommend that you read the information on how to use concluding signals on page 150. Second, I want you to choose a topic from either page 145 or page 146 below and to write a paragraph. And it should be 140 to 170 words in length. Practice 5A on page 145, it gives you the topic, the best restaurant in town. And practice 5B on page 146, it gives you a topic of the worst restaurant in town. In these practice questions, please think about 3 reasons and a few examples to fill in the blanks. Return to the example on page 140 to understand what the complete paragraph should look like with reasons and examples. The paragraph assignment should be uploaded to the submission box set up on web class. For Monday, May 17th, 2021, I'm going to send you a Zoom link so that you can join the session if you have any questions about the content of this video lecture or anything else related to the course. Also, I haven't touched upon some of the practice questions in this video lecture, so if you want to know the answers, you can join the session as well. I hope to see you face-to-face in week 7, but depending on the situation, I may choose either on-demand or a real-time online session for next week as well. Eat well, sleep well, and stay healthy. See you next week. Bye-bye.